Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at the stamp set The Raven. This bird is absolutely beautiful, and although it's sort of designed for sort of Halloween, I thought we would do a lovely card with this bird that wasn't for Halloween but would maybe be more of sort of a masculine card or something, because it could be a crow, it could be a any other sort of type of bird, not necessarily just the raven. So that's what we're going to work with. But first of all, we need to do ourselves a background. So I've got our sponge brayers and we are going to take 3 colours. So we're going to have, we're going to start with Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to put some Flirty Flamingo in the centre. So rolling it up, you go down, up, down, up, down, up, so that you then get even coverage of the brayer. And we want this to go in the centre, so I'm doing it straight along the centrepiece, because we want this to be nice and pink along there, and then we can take it up to the sides. So although it looks as if it's a strip, which it is, it's going to blend all the way through, so we don't need to worry about it too much. But I wanted that really nice sort of pink in the centre, because it's going to be like a sunset, which I thought would look quite nice. So that's the Flirty Flamingo. Then we are going to choose blue, and we're going to choose some yellow as well, but we'll have the blue first. We are going to use the same roller. So we've got Pacific Point here, which is quite a nice bright colour, and I think that's going to be my top. So this one, we're going to take it off the edge, and then we're just going to roll it in, take it down to this centerpiece, and then just sort of blend it across a bit. Just like that. And then we're going to turn it round, and we're going to do the same on the bottom as well with the blue. And that's just going to be a little bit lighter. And again, just bring that into the centre. Okay, then we are going to take some crushed curry. So let me just grab my crushed curry. And again, we can do it with the same roller, because you roll it quite gently. And then this is going to come from the bottom, and it will turn it a nice green colour. So it blends in perfectly. You don't have to worry about a different colour of green. So again, just blending it through. So it just blends through into that pink nicely. Okay, now we're going to go back to the top, and we are going to put in a mask. So the mask, I've just cut a 1-inch circle out of Post-it note, and then what I do is when I punch it, I always punch it with a piece of paper behind. And we're going to give ourselves a moon. Now, we've already put colour on it, but we want this to be sort of in a different sort of tone. So I'm going to take the Night of Navy, which is a nice dark colour, because we want the top part to be quite dark. And we're going to ink that up. Ink it up quite well. And then we're going to take that off from the edge. And that's going to come down over where the moon is. Just bring it down a little bit. So we're just blending it through a bit into the colours, and we can bring it right the way down so that that pink is just toned down a little bit, so it looks more like the sky. I'm going to load it up again. And we're going to take it off so that, as I say, this top part is nice and dark. But it blends down nicely as you go. So we want the top part to be really quite sort of dark. It gives that sort of moody, misty type look to it, which I really like. So, as I say, just sort of bring it down. But you can see how those edges are now sort of misting through quite nicely. And I think we'll have just one more in there because I do want it to be quite dark. The sponges are absolutely lovely because when you've finished with them, you just literally take them to the sink and wash them out under the cold tap, and they then return to just being completely clear and you can use them. Okay, so I wanted the moon to just give a bit of a colouring on, so let's just take that off. And you can see you've got that really nice sort of misty look coming through on there. So I think that that's absolutely perfect. I'm really pleased with that. So let's take those out of the way. And I'm just going to move them out so they're not in the way. I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to take this paper off because it's got a bit grubby. It's just copy paper which I use so I can then you know, use it and throw it away quite quickly. So we have this sort of layer of colours going on, which I think will make a beautiful background for this. So now we are going to take our Stamparatus. Now, the reason I'm using the Stamparatus is because it will give us some really nice dark image. We want this crow, raven, bird to be as dark as we can possibly get it. So I'm going to position it here because I don't want it right in the corner, and then I'm just going to put my magnet in on the center so that it holds it. And we are going to take first of all the branch. So let's grab the branch, and we're going to use it, put it in a good black ink. So the branch is going to come right the way across on this pink part because we want that to be the prettiest part of it. So I'm just going to literally pick that up, and then hopefully you can just about see it, yes, and then we're going to ink it up in a very good black ink. So I'm just going to ink it up in the black ink, and then we can put it down. And you can see the first time it comes out dark, but not as dark as I want it. I want it really as dark as we can get it. So I'm going to do it again. And in fact, I'm even going to do it 3 times because I want it to stand out really well against that background. So let's just put that down there. And now you can see you've got a really lovely dark image on there, which is exactly what we wanted. The Simply Chamois is absolutely perfect. I keep it in a clear case, but it's great for cleaning because you can just literally take it into a wedge with your hand and then literally just clean that up nicely. And I'm hoping you can probably just see part of it because I haven't got enough space on here to put everything in on the camera so that you can see it close enough in to be able to see the detail. Okay, so now we're going to get the bird. And the bird is, you've got its little feet on here, and it's quite difficult to actually position him completely. But I want him so that his tail, just move that up just a little bit. I want him so that his tail is not going to be coming down onto the branch. So I'm going to just put him at a slight angle like that. Then we can pick him up. So he's going to be coming down with his claws sort of just grabbing it. And it might just be a little bit above. It might be just right. It's very difficult with these ones to see, but I think it's going to be exactly where I want it. Yes, it is. So you can see how pale it is the first time, but we're just going to carry on inking it up, getting it darker and darker. And also I think it's quite nice at that angle because the bird is looking upwards, which I think is rather nice. So I'm going to do it again. So it's had 3, maybe even 4, and I'm just going to, on the last one, make sure that I've got as much of that ink off as I can. And now you've got a beautiful dark image. So if you want a darker image, pop your stamp into the Stamparatus, and then it means that you can stamp it again and again and get a beautiful dark image, particularly if you're doing it over a background. Okay, so that's got our bird in on there, which I think looks rather nice with the moon. So let's get the stamp set out. And now we are going to take, and I'm going to keep the Stamparatus up because I don't know how many colours I want on there, but we are going to take the Beauty and Joy stamp set, and I want to do just some of these little leaves in on here, and I quite like these ones, those ones. So I think we're going to have a go at doing those ones, and I just want them to come over on the edge there, so that they're just sort of poking in where those branches are. So we're going to pick that up, and we're going to do these in, what colour should we do those in? I think I'm going to do those in we want a dark colour, so I'm going to do them in, I think, Blackberry Bliss, which is a dark purple, because I want this to be sort of, you know, quite sort of moody. And so we'll ink it up first of all, put it down over on there and pick it up. Yes, that looks absolutely lovely, and I don't want to do it anymore because I want to have that sort of moody look with it. So we've now got the bird with some lovely sort of leaves in there. I really love the flexibility of some of our stamps, that you can use them for all sorts of different things. So I think that's lovely. So let's clean that one off of here. You will find that if you are using the reds and the purples and things, they will stain your stamps, but it doesn't affect the use of them at all. So you just get different sort of tonal shades on them. So that's that one on there. And then we want something down at the bottom. So I'm going to use, and this time I'm not going to use the Stamparatus, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to use the other leaves, these leaves. And so I'm going to take this one out of here for now because we don't need that anymore. And we can then put this one down on here. So we've got that lovely sort of dark sort of moody type look on there. So let's get a block and put this one on here. Now I want this to be at the bottom. I think I need to do it in, do I do it in a dark green or do I keep it in that sort of moody look? I want to do the top in Night of Navy because we've got the Night of Navy on there. So let me just grab my Night of Navy out again. Because I just want some of these leaves to just come in at the top, and I don't want to take them through too much, so I'm just doing just a little bit at the top, so it's just coming through and just in the corner like that. So you've got the leaves sort of coming down out of the top, which I think looks absolutely lovely. And I think I'm going to do them in the blue at the bottom to carry it through. I could do it in green. I think I might have to do it in a green for it to carry through. So let's just take this one down in. Let me get my stamping scrub give that a clean off in there. But I really love the way that those branches are coming down at the top. So I want a very dark green. Mossy Meadow is probably our darkest green. So that will work at the bottom. And again, I'm going to do that with the leaves because I want those leaves to just come up. So we're going to have this one in on the bottom. Yes, that's nice. So it's not coming up a long way. It's just sort of coming up just a little bit at the bottom. And we'll take this one in on the corner. So you've just got that sort of background coming through, which I think looks really nice and quite moody and misty. And then we need to put a sentiment of some sort on there. So let's have a look and see what sentiment we can put on there. We want something that is I don't know, something that's quite pretty. We could have, just having a look at these two to see, may you do it day bloom with joy. No, I want something that goes vertically along there. So let me just have a quick look and see what we're going to put on there. So bear with me a second because I need to have a quick look for a sentiment because I hadn't worked it out quite that far. So let's put I think I'm going to put glad we're friends, so it can go as a friends card because I have quite a few friends on there. So this one is glad we're friends. This is from the Fable Friends. You can pick your sentiments out of all sorts of things, and I think that this will work quite nicely. So I haven't used that one. So Fable Friends is absolutely lovely with all of those sweet little images on there. So let me just take the backing off of this one. And I'm going to bring the Stamparatus back in again because I want to have the dark colour on this. So let me just bring the Stamparatus back in here. Pop this one down like that because again I want to have it glad. Which way does glad go up? That way, does it? It's very difficult to see sometimes upside down. I'm going to take it that way. We want that sort of in the centre here. Put that one in like that. Okay, let's make sure that it is lined up straight, which it's not. I love the Stamparatus because you can literally just adjust things so you have it up the right way. And in fact, that is not, I think that's upside down, but it might not be. That looks straight. Now, if you want to check it, the easiest way to do that is, let's get a little tiny scrap of paper here that I cut my sentiment out of. So if we just put that in here, I'm going to use it in the black ink. Before you commit yourself, because we've done the lovely image, is to turn around and just put it on and go, yes, glad we're friends. That's right, that's straight, and that's where I want it. So let's ink it up, and we're going to put it down on there. And we're going to ink it up again because I want it, as I say, as dark as we can get it. I'll just have it one more time, I think, because I just want the centre part to be nice. There we go. So glad we're friends. Then that can come off of on there. And we can then take that out. Now let me just clean that off again with our Stamparatus. But you can see, you know, you've changed a stamp that could be, you know, considered just for sort of Halloween and made it into something which is really quite pretty. And let's take that off now because we've got the sentiment stamped on there. And I would probably put it onto, I want to try and do something on the bottom here. It's lacking a little something. So let me just get this this one out again. That needed to go into, I'm just putting it back in the wrong one, aren't I? So Fable Friends, let's pop that back in there. Like that. Now I've decided what I want to do is I want to take the Beauty and Joy again, and we are just going to, so that's this lovely leaf one here, and we're just going to do some second generations on. I want it to have come down just a little bit further on here. So let's take the green to start off with, so which was the Mossy Meadow. So we're going to stamp it, we're going to stamp it off, and then I'm just going to stamp it in on there. That's better. So what it's giving is it's giving some background, just colour, without it being over the top. So that's going to just take it in on there, which just gives that background just a bit of prettiness. And I'm going to just take it down there so that it stamp it off again. This comes from being sort of the perfectionist in me, that I like things where it looks as if it's supposed to be. And in fact, I am going to, on the little bit that comes up higher, I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo and just have a little bit of background in on there, I think. Or I might know, we're going to create a little bit of sort of a, what do you call it, a splattering technique on here, which I think will work quite well. So I am going to choose, I've got some stamping spritz, and I've still got some gold left in here, which is fine. And what I want to do is to get some kitchen roll, which will be fine. This has been used before, but it won't make any difference. And what we need to do is we need to stand at a reasonable height. So I'm going to spray it off first of all to make sure my nozzle is nice and clear, which it is. And then from quite a height, we're just going to spray a mist on there. Okay, and then we're going to quickly put the kitchen roll straight in over the top and just smooth that out. And what will happen is it will just take some of that colour off and just give another bit of texture in the background. So we've got a little bit on there. I think I could do with just a little bit more. So let's particularly up at the top where the moon is, so I'm going to turn it up the other way round and just give just a little bit of a spray on there, and then just put that back down on there, give it a smooth over, and then the kitchen roll will pick it up, and then we've got that's better. So you've now got and I hope you can see that. I'm going to pick it up a bit so you can actually see you've got some sort of sparkle and shimmer on there, but I think it gives just another layer to that background. So let me just turn that over a bit, because it's a bit, no, I'm going to take it off, it's a bit damp. And then I would put it onto a background of what have I got? I would probably put it onto something like Night of Navy. I haven't got anything cut, but I'm just going to take maybe I have. Yes, I've got a piece here. Hopefully that's going to be about the right size. So I'd probably put it on Night of Navy, just like that, and then put it onto a card base. But you can see how you can build up a really beautiful scene just using some stamps in a different way, using the bird, using the night sky, and just making it really rather pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching me, and do look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.